Hello, welcome to our Texquest Ed Tech session. I am so glad that you are here. I will start off by introducing myself. My name is Jennifer Wimberley, and I am a curriculum specialist on the science team. So today you are accessing this recording. You're getting the recorded version for the EdTech Summit, and we will be talking about Texquest. Texquest is a really cool resource, and I hope that you learn a lot today. I was not very familiar with Texquest myself until some point last year, and once we dove into it, we saw all the amazing things that could be added into lesson plans right away. So I hope that you learned something new today. So Texquest is not your mama's database. I just thought this slide was funny. It is, it's a database, but it's not just a typical database. It holds a lot of information and houses several different resources. So without further ado, we are going to watch a welcome video from Texquest themselves explaining what it is and some of the things that you will see in the presentation today. So let's get started with our welcome video.
Welcome to Texquest, state-supported digital resources for Texas K-12 public schools and open enrollment charter schools, coordinated by the Texas State Library and Archives Commission. You can access resources from the 6 different Texquest providers in several ways. Let's look at one way to find articles, videos, full-text ebooks, and even practice tests for college entrance exams from any internet-linked device. The first page of TextQuest.net has links to the TextQuest Navigator. You can access all resources here with your district name and a district password. Search by grade level, by selecting the appropriate icon, or select all resources to see everything that's part of TextQuest. I'm going to select all resources. From here, you can use the tabs at the top to narrow by school level. On the left, you can filter the resources by type. For example, if you select videos, you will see only the providers who have videos in their offerings. Selecting Espanol gives you providers who have original resources in Spanish. By the way, many of our TextQuest resources also have machine translations into multiple languages. Let's find a general resource on lions at the elementary level. You will select the elementary tab at the top, filter by general on the left, and select a resource. Once you select the resource, you will need to find your district in the drop-down. All participating districts are listed. Click on your district and you will be asked for a password. Get your password from your campus or district librarian or email TextQuest at esc20.info for that information.
And you guys actually won't do this. I'll show you how you'll access in a second.
Elementary. So now we can type in lions and see what other articles or resources are available. Let's open one. Once you open an article, you have many features, including the option to translate into other languages, including Spanish. But what if you want more information? If you return to the Navigator page and select another provider, you will not have to sign in again. Let's try filtering by ebooks and select National Geographic Kids. If we do a search for lions, we now have additional resources, including full text ebooks. There are other ways to explore TextQuest digital resources, including the direct content provider links on textquest.net, direct links from your campus and district web pages, or through district systems. Some may ask you for a username and password, which can be obtained from your librarian or by contacting TextQuest at esc20.info. On textquest.net, you will find more materials to help you learn about all of the educational resources available for you to explore through our program. Happy searching!
Okay, so if you heard part of that, you are not going to need because you have a way easier way to access this database. But let's kind of just go back over what TextQuest is. So it's a database and it's full of instructional materials. It's actually bought by the state of Texas. It is bought for everybody, kindergarten through 12th grade. So it has content from lower elementary all the way up to middle and high school. Within TextQuest itself, you'll see that it has several different providers, including some of the ones that they focused on in the video: Britannica School, Gail, EBSCO, Learn360, ProQuest, and Teaching Books. So it is a one-stop shop. So you only have to go to Classlink to access your TextQuest. Everything is right there. If you do ever have to log into one of those, it's usually a one-time thing. The password is at the top. It's the same for everybody, and the username. So if you have any trouble in your Classlink, enter that information and you are good to go. All right, so let's do a brief overview of the resources included in TextQuest to get you thinking about some of these that you might be interested in. And at the end, I'll give you an example of how you could use them. Within TextQuest itself, you will also get a resource guide. This is like a one-pager that tells you what's included in every one of the resources. So if you're looking for, let's say, videos, you could go right here to Britannica, or you could also go to Gail and look for magazine articles. It kind of breaks down what all is included. So that one pager can be found on the TextQuest website. It is available in ELL format too for all of our English language learners. That's the great thing about this. A lot of this translates into not only Spanish, but many different languages. All right, so like I said, getting into the resources. So the first one we're going to look at is Britannica Schools. Britannica covers all 3 grade levels or grade bands, let's say elementary, middle, and high school. It's also available in Spanish, and it is very, very good for giving different interactives, for giving different articles, and also infographics. So Britannica School will get you all 3 of your levels. Learn360. Learn360 has been a favorite here on the science team. If you did any of our getting ready for the STAR for 5th or 8th grade, we used a lot of Learn360 because it has lots of videos, yes, but we love the interactives. The interactives are easy to assign to your kiddos. They walk through some of the stuff that we can't always put in their hands, and it helps to satisfy that goal of hands-on learning for about 40 up to 80% of your time within your science classroom. So Learn360, jot that one down. We love that for the interactives. The next one is Gail Cengage. Gail is really good for articles, for newspaper clippings, and also within Gail you will find National Geographic Kids. So I know for some of our lower level teachers, we love National Geographic. There is your content and your subscription right there. Again, it is available in elementary and middle high school. So all of these resources can be used by any grade level teacher. Teaching books, pretty self-explanatory. You're going to find a library of different books. They will read to them. You can assign them. It is a great place to go and look for something that maybe the library doesn't have or we can't always go and check out. So teaching books is great for learning across the curriculum as well. You might be working on something and tying in that literacy. So that is a great resource. EBSCO, again, you're going to find ebooks here. Like you see, it has different collections. We have a K through 8 collection, high school, and then continuing education. There also is some career, college, military prep support within here as well. So you're going to see that these resources are not just science-based. They can be used in any classroom, any content, and really up into getting our kids ready for post, high school. So there's lots of support here and lots of stuff to dig into. All right, so within those awesome resources, there are some instructional tools that are always good to highlight because we struggle as educators sometimes to get something to our kids that can be used for everybody. So within a lot of these programs, they do have a translate. So you can always have the same article in English and maybe also in a different language, which is very helpful. It does get really hard to find resources for our English language learners as they get older and that higher level material. They also have a text-to-speech, so it will read to them. Not all of our kids are ready to read right there on that level, so it could read to them. And also a lot of them have a tool where you can switch the reading level from a lower level to a higher level or back and forth. So you can differentiate within these resources very easily. They are aligned to the TEKS because remember that this program is purchased by the state of Texas for Texas educators and students. So you will have a very easy time of aligning your standards with the content. Again, looking at search bars, you will see that you can search at the different levels, elementary, middle, or high school. You can also, within some of the articles and teaching books, search by Lexile level. So once again, differentiation. We're looking at some high-level, well-made resources to go and look for your lesson plans and your lesson content. We all love Google. We all had to transition to Google Drive and Google Classroom. So all of these can be saved to Google, even in Microsoft. And one thing to mention, if you are still using the Google Classroom platform within your own classroom, these are very easy to assign right to Google Classroom. So they're very user-friendly. They're packed full of information. I really think that you're going to love jumping into Texquest. Citation Tools. All of the materials, you generally have a place that they already have the citation for you. You are looking at that from like a research point of view. We know that as our kids get older, we like them to start the research and have good resources to get the information from. So you will find that they offer the citation in many different formats, which is really helpful. All right, so now that we've gone through all of these great resources and what they can do, you're probably wondering how you can use them. So what I'm going to show you today is 2 different example assignments using these Texquest resources. So let's just jump right into it. The first one that I'm going to give you, I pretty much modeled off of everybody's first unit, physical properties of matter, physical science. So the way that I've set this up for you today is I took the overarching question from Teek's resource: in what ways do physical properties determine how matter is classified? And I set up my classroom in groups or centers or stations, and I'm going to have them rotate through 3 different materials and try to get some information to answer that overarching question. So this is going to be done after your initial instruction, and it will be something that will really give you an assessment of whether they are understanding what you're talking about in class and if they can apply some of the resources that you've given them. So as you can see, I set it up where there would be 3 groups, Group A, B, and C. Group A is going to look at an interactive. Group B is going to look at an infographic, and Group C is going to be looking at an article on magnetism. All 3 of these things came from different resources within the Texquest. So Learn 360, Britannica School, and Gail resources. After a quick copy and paste of those 3 information tools, all I did was give them a quick little synopsis at the bottom: studying the material, assign to your group, discuss how each article or image gives you information about classifying matter, and then complete your group section of the linked document. So let's look at what these look like. All right, so logging into Learn 360, and if it does ask you to log in, remember that information is at the top of your Classlink. So this is an interactive. It's over solid liquids and gases. You can assign it straight to your kids, share it with them, get your citation. Here's that Google Classroom button to throw it in there. And they will literally go through this interactive, and you could do it as a whole group. You could, like I said, put them into groups, and they will be able to play the information. There is some different sorts and just information about solid liquids and gases presented in different ways. Here you see some true and false. And looking at how our testing is going to change, this will be some great support, not only with supporting the content that you're teaching, but also teaching them how to do the drag and drops, how to do the different parts of selecting answer choices. So that's an example on the interactive. You do not have to assign all of the interactive at once. Remember, this is completely up to you. So if you would like them to complete this interactive and do pages 1, 3, and 5, and then take the quiz at the end, that's all they have to do. And it does give you some information. So again, another great way to see if they are able to apply the information that you have presented to them on their own. So group 1 would be doing an interactive from Learn 360. Group 2, Group B, is going to be studying this infographic. So they will be looking at the different ways that the molecules and atoms in each state of matter are positioned and reading about them, analyzing that. Now, again, I know that not all grade levels go through that 4th state of matter, but it doesn't hurt the kids to expose them to it and just tell them, you know, for now, guys, we're going to be focusing on this. Or maybe you are one of those upper level teachers and you want to support that infographic to go all the way up to that 4th state of matter. This one was from Britannica School. And the 3rd one that I picked is just an article from Gail on magnetism. So magnetism is, as you know, a property of matter. They will do a little bit of reading. They can take some notes. But then remember that the assignment was to take whatever it was that you decide to give them that day and complete something. So all I did was a little table, and they had to answer that question, making a claim on how do physical properties determine how matter is classified. So Group A would take that infographic, and then after studying it and deciding as a group, they would write and say, it is a physical property of matter because of this. So, like I said, this is just an example. I hope you can kind of see the different parts of TextQuest and the different pieces of those resources that I pulled. And guys, this didn't take me maybe 15 minutes to put together. You just go to that different resource and type it in and you're ready to go. So that's one way that you could present some of this information, especially with that property of matter unit, which is really a heavy one. The vocabulary is heavy. The information is sometimes not limited, but just older. So this is a different way to give your kids some information, a different format. And then here's another example of a way that you could use it. This teacher was talking about fracking, which is obviously a term that we use around here. So you can see that they have pulled some different magazine articles, videos, graphs, diagrams, and even books. So it is basically, like I said earlier, a one-stop shop. They have used all different aspects of TextQuest, whether it is the Gail or the teaching books or the videos from one of the other ones, and put it all on one slide so that your students have an enormous amount of information. And that's what TextQuest is. It's a database of educational resources and information that's been vetted for you to then give to your students. All right, so that is a very fast and furious kind of rundown of what TextQuest is. There are some things that I want to remind you of. All of this can be accessed through your Classlink. So I will walk you through that part. And then this would be the part where you would go off and explore. And I challenge you to find a resource in TextQuest that you think you could use within your first or second unit, something different and engaging for your students. I think you'll be pretty surprised. So just a quick rundown of that. We're going to our Classlink. You will find your TextQuest folder here. And there's all the resources that we talked about today. So guys, happy exploring. I hope that you have been inspired to look at a resource that we've had for a long time and find a way to use it in your science classroom. And if you have any questions, I would love for you to get in contact with me. Again, like I said, my name is Jennifer Wimberley, and I am on the science curriculum team. So thanks and have a great day. Thank you for learning with me.